Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we'll be building this amazing landing page using HTML and CSS. Now this design I picked up from a Dribble, which looked really neat and really clean. So I thought let's teach you guys how to build this. And so in this video, we'll be building this from scratch, and I'll be teaching you guys step by step how to build this, including the structure, the HTML structure, how to see the image, and how to create the structure, and then how to style it using CSS. Now, if you're new to the channel and if you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you subscribe the channel and turn the notification bell on so that you're notified whenever I upload a new video. And then if you have any doubts or if you have any queries regarding this video, so you can comment down below, and also you can comment down what you liked about this video. This would help my video get pushed to new viewers, and which would help my channel grow. So yeah, with that being said, let's get started and let's build this. Now again, source code is down in the description. Make sure you download and play with it. Let's open up my VS Code. Now in VS Code, you'd see that I have the folder landing 17 open, wherein I have a basic boiler template in my index.html file, font pop-ins imported in my style.css, and then I have this image PNG, which we're going to be needing for the website design. Now the first thing that we're going to be doing is first, let's link our style sheet to our index.html file. And then we're going to be importing remix icons, which we'll be needing. So here I'm going to go and type remix icon cdnjs, and you can hit enter. And the first link that pops up, you're going to click onto that and then copy this remix icon.min.css, and then you're going to paste it here. Now let's look at the design. So this is the design wherein we have a background color, so which we're going to be applying that in our body tag. And then we're going to have a container to hold everything. So let's say we have a main tag which holds the entire website. And then this left section will be inside of a section tag. And then this right menu with social links inside of an aside tag. And then inside of the section, we can have a nav tag to hold this small navigation, wherein we can have the logo and then these anchor tags. And then a container to hold the main content of the website, wherein we're going to have this image, this H1, and then these paginations, and then these text, and including this button. So that all these stuff we're going to be inserting inside of a container div. So in our HTML, first let's create the main tag, and then add our section for the left side content, and then a side for the small menu icon and also the social media icons. Inside of the section, we're gonna add the navigation tag or the nav tag, wherein we're gonna have a logo div, wherein we're gonna add a span to add art. Now, and also we're gonna add iChoke. I thought of, instead of adding a different div and all those stuff, we can just wrap it around a span, which in CSS we can add font weight to bold, or maybe give some manual values which would make this art text bold, and we can build this simple logo. And then we're gonna need anchor tags for home, where to find, and also contact. Now the simple navigation or the nav is done. Now let's add the container inside of the section, wherein we're going to have the image, we're going to have the H1 which says grenade, and then we're going to have the pagination, this pagination, or if you're using Swiper, then this would be the indicator for the different slides. But since I'm not using Swiper.js or any kind of slider, so I'll just assume that this is kind of like a pagination. So I'll just create this pagination div, wherein I'm going to add span 0, 1, 0, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now for this line, we can just create a div with the class of bar, and we're going to leave it as it is. Now, all this stuff we're going to style in CSS. So I'm hoping that you have basic knowledge on CSS, and also we're going to be using CSS Flexbox. So I'm hoping you also have a bit of, not in depth maybe, but at least you have the fundamental idea what Flexbox is and how to add the basic justify content and then also align item property to align stuff into the website. So if you do not have any idea regarding what CSS Flexbox is, or you do not have your fundamentals of CSS really cleared out, so I have 2 videos. So I'll link both of those videos down in the description, or maybe link somewhere in the video so that you guys can check that out. Now, after you're done with those 2 videos, or I'm hoping you already know those 2 core stuff. So what I'm going to be doing here is that next I'm going to be adding a div with text class, and then I'm going to be adding b pagination, all right, or this bar or sort of, and then we're going to have span which says 0, 1. Now this span would again be of higher font size and also font weight, and then we're going to have a small for this /05. All right, and then also a B bar. All right, now we'd have a heading which would say a healthy, and then the explosion would be in the next line, so I'm going to be using a break tag. And then this text which I'm going to be wrapping inside of a paragraph tag, and then a button which says read more. Now in the aside, we need to add the menu, wherein we have the remix icon for the menu, and then social bar, the horizontal line that you see, and then social icon, wherein we're going to have the anchor tag for Facebook. And then I'm going to be pasting this in 2 more times for Twitter and Instagram, and then another social bar. Now with that, our HTML is complete, and you can see that we have the logo, the navigations, the image, the text, the read more button, the H1, the pagination, and also the menu icon, and then the social icons as well. Now let's get started with the CSS. Now in the CSS, we have the font family of Poppins imported. So first, we're going to remove the default margin and padding and set the box sizing to border box. Then we're going to set the font family to Poppins. Now we want every element to have Poppins, so we're going to add this property inside of the asterisk. Then we're going to target the body. We're going to set height, width to 100 viewport height and 100 viewport width, and set overflow to hidden. Give a display grid and place content to center, since the main tag is inside of the body, and the main is the only direct child of the body. So if we write this, then the main content should be at the center, as you can see. And then we're going to set a background of this dark green color. Now this color I kind of picked up from this using this ColorZilla extension. Now you guys can also add this. It's pretty helpful. Can grab the color from the different website images directly by clicking on this extension and then just hovering over, and then you get the color code. Now we're going to target all the different element, and we're going to set the color of everything inside of the body. We're going to target the main. We're going to set its height and width to 95 viewport height and 95 viewport width, since we're going to leave some space on from top, bottom, and also left and right. And we're going to set overflow to hidden, and then we're going to give it a box shadow of 5 pixel, 5 pixel, and 10 pixel with RGBA value. Now we need kind of a linear gradient background, which again you can grab from here using the ColorZilla. So this color and also this color. So I'm going to add background linear gradient with 140 degrees of angle. And then I'm going to be pasting both of the colors. And then let's save and let's see. It's not exactly the same, but well, it kind of does the job, you know. I'm going to set the border radius to 5 pixels and add display flex. And we're done with the main. Now we'll target the section. We're going to give it width 95%, display flex, flex direction to column. And then we're going to move to the aside, which is right next to the section. And we're going to give it width 5%. Since 95 is taken by the section, so all that's left is 5%, which needs to be given to the aside so that it fits like perfectly on the right side. And then this would have height of 100%, since if you see here, this is taking the entire height. And then padding of 5 pixels, and then display flex with flex direction of column. Since all the elements inside of the aside will be stacking on top of each other, so we need flex direction to column. Align items to center, and then a gap of 20 pixels so that each item has a 20 pixel of gap from the next item. And then a background of linear gradient. Again, you can grab this color, which is this, and then set to top, meaning this color would start from bottom and then go all the way to top with transparency, something like this. Now I'm going to be targeting the menu, and I'm going to setting this font size of 30 pixels, social icon with height and width, since they need to be circular, so we need height same as width, and then we need border radius to 50%. With display grid, place content to center, since we want the icons to be at the center of the social icon div. Let's save. This is what it is. And then a border of 1 pixel solid white. Now let's add a bit of opacity of 0.8, and let's target the anchor tag within the social icon div, and let's set its text decoration to none and give it a color of white. Now the social bar, the horizontal lines that you see, we're going to target that. We're going to give it height of 150 pixels and width of 1 pixel with background of white and opacity of 0.7. All right. With that, we have the aside ready. Now let's target the navigation or the nav inside of the section. We're going to give it display flex, align items to center, and width to 100%. Okay. Let's add height to 8%, and then a bit of padding top and bottom 10 pixels, left and right 20 pixels. Now let's target the logo. Let's give it font size of 18 pixels and a margin right auto. And then let's target the span, which has ART wrapped around, and let's give it font weight of 900. And then let's target the anchor tags, and let's give them position relative. I don't know why I added this position relative, but you do not need to add this position relative. You can just remove this. And text decorations to none, font size of 12 pixels, and then margin left of 20 pixels, so that we have a gapping from the left side of 20 pixels. And then the color needs to be white with a bit of opacity of 0.9. And then let's position this at the center. So we're going to target the last anchor tag, which is this contact. And let's add margin right to auto. Now this would push itself from the right side, and this would bring all the other anchor tags kind of at the center. Now let's target the container. I'm going to give it width 100%, height of 92%, since the nav bar had 8% of height, and so this container needs to have 92%. Let's add position relative to the container. Now the reason for adding position relative to the container is because the image that we have, we're going to position that absolutely. Need this position relative inside of this container. I'm going to target this image. We're going to set position absolute with top 50%, left 50%. Transform translate of -50% from the x-axis, and from the y-axis we have -60%. Let's give it a height of 450 pixels. And now let's add the shadow using the filter backdrop property, or this backdrop function. We're going to have 40 pixel horizontally, 50 pixel vertically, and then 25 pixel of blur. And then this color. Let's add z index of 3, since we're going to be needing the text, which is the h1, to be underneath this image. So that text would have a z index of 2, which would bring this image on top of the h1. Now let's target the h1. Also align it absolutely and give it font size of 200 pixels, z index of 2, which places this text underneath the image. Let's set its bottom to 0, left to 50%, and let's transform and translate it along y-axis 20% and along x-axis minus 50%. Let's add a bit of text shadow with 2 pixels, 2 pixels, 2 pixels. So horizontally, vertically, and the blur. And then this is the color. So I basically took this one and then added a bit of like alpha value. And let's add letter spacing to 20 pixels in opacity of 0.9. Now let's target the B pagination. So this B pagination is the one that appears on top. Display flex, margin left 15%, margin top 50 pixels. So I can say this is flexed line. We're going to target the small instead of the B pagination, and we're going to give it font size of 14 pixels, opacity of 0.8, and align it flex end so that it comes down. Let's add a bit of margin bottom to 5 pixels so that it pushes itself a bit on top. Margin right of 5 pixels so that it has a bit of gapping from the bar that we're going to create. And then the span, which has 0, 1, we're going to increase the font size, font weight, and then we're going to target the bar. Width to 250 pixels, height 1 pixel, background to white, align self, flex end, margin bottom of 10 pixels, opacity of 0.7, and it should be good. Now we're going to target the pagination, this one. We're going to display flex, and then we're going to add the heading. Let's add font size to 60 pixels, font weight to 700, opacity of 0.9, a bit of text shadow, margin left of 8%, line height of 1, and then margin top of 20 pixels. Also, we'd add a bit of letter spacing of 3 pixels. And then we're going to target the P, which has this. Width to 380 pixels, margin left 8%, then margin top of 20 pixels, font size of 13 pixels, and should be good. Now let's target the button and give it font size of 12 pixels, margin left 8%, same margin top of 20 pixels, heading of 10 pixels from top and bottom and 25 from left and right. Background, so we do not need any background. We only need a border, so we're going to give that. Let's change this outline to none and also the color to white. And then cursor to pointer, so that when we hover, we have this pointer emoji or icon. And then we're going to target the pagination. Let's set margin left to 8%, display flex. I think we already have written this pagination right here, so we do not need this. You can remove this section. And then display flex, align items to center, margin top of 20 pixels, gap of 15 pixels each, and then font size of 14 pixels. And then the bar that we have for pagination, width 250 pixels, height 1 pixel, same background, same opacity, and yeah. Hold on a second. Yeah. And yeah, there we have it. So yeah, this is it, guys. I hope you like this video, and I hope you learned how to build this website or this design from the image. Now, so before we go, let's remove the redundant pagination selector, and yeah, and also I think we have another, I think we added a position relative somewhere. Yeah, this one. We not need this as well. Let's remove that. All right, so we're done with the design. It is kind of similar to the image that we had. I hope you learned something from this video. Now, the source code of this project would be down in the description. Make sure to download that, play around, change the values, see what you can do or what changes you can make. Have fun with this design. And yeah, thanks for watching this video. If you're new to the channel, again, I'm repeating myself. So please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Make sure you drop a like and share this video with your friends who like coding, who like web design, web development. Share this video with your friends and family. And also comment down what you liked about this video so that this video gets pushed to new viewers. And yeah, that's it. Meet you guys in the next video. Till then, bye bye. Have a good day.